count on Terran. Now Terran has killed enough stuff, he feels he can move out and just poke around the map. He now sees this base and is going to try and poke with Hellions. So this is just the tit for tat maneuver. Every time an opportunity arises to change the flow of the game, in this specific case, Dignitas fended off a large attack with very few losses, so he was able to feel comfortable to go and try and take the initiative of the game. Unfortunately, he also lost the initiative of the game. He discovered he was in fact behind, which is a good thing to know, but it just it was a good thing to do. I'm not sure if I would have gone quite as aggressive into attacking the drone line, because he did take unnecessary losses, and he's even going to try again. But more for this Overlord poke, it was to see what Dignitas' tank numbers were, as well as his Thor count. And as you can see, Dignitas has a lot of tanks, but only a single Thor. And while I've been talking, I missed a roach drop. He's actually not going to get a whole lot out of this. He's going to get 2 supply depots destroyed and then have to retreat because there are going to be tanks here. And at this point, Dignitas is effectively invulnerable to small pokes because the spread of tanks covers almost every axis of entry for Dignitas, so he's very, very secure. Whereas Cats needs to defend literally everything from this entire half of the map down. So he's responsible for this entire swing of the map. You can see he's taking this base, which increases the amount of area he needs to actually have fortified and not just have eyes on. And here is Dignitas getting ready to attack under the cover, well, over the cover of expanding. He's getting ready to take this gold, and this number of tanks and Hellions is going to be simply too much for Cats to do anything, because those tanks get fortified, well, sieged up, and then it becomes just an incredibly hard area to break. So what Cats is actually going to end up doing is destroying a Mink statue and then go for effectively an all-in, well, not all-in, but a base trade attack. And that queen just gets poor queen gets instigated. In response to this drop, Dignitas is going to pull everything back because he did abandon all defenses to go on the attack, which it's a good thing to do because you want to have a really strong push. Otherwise you're just throwing stuff away as Terran, well, it's any race. But it's also not a good thing to leave yourself completely defenseless, because there was only a single missile turret to prevent all of this. And Dignitas at this point is going to lose all ability to respond, because all these tanks are going to be under pressure. He's lost supply depots, he's going to lose that command center, all these SCVs are going to be fungal growth to death. He's really going to be isolated down to that gold base, which I looked at and looked away really quickly, as well as the standing army he has left. There's the SCVs being destroyed by the fungal growth. And if you've been keeping an eye up here, you saw a really large spike for Dignitas, and now Cats has overextended his welcome and has started catching up. But Cats has pretty much eliminated all of Dignitas' ability to adapt. He left him with 4 factories, so that's all he can produce out of right now. And I'm looking for it. Where is it? I didn't see it the first time. I guess it's not down yet. Production. Not down yet. But Cats is about to transition into air units simply because of, there they are. Dignitas has very few units that are actually capable of looking upwards, so Cats is going to abuse that and start getting Broodlords. And Dignitas is going around and scouting, but not really able to react to anything because he feels if he moves out, he's going to be, well, have this happen to him again. And overall, really, this is a very bad position for Terran to be in. Not because he's able to be pressured at every turn, but because he feels he'll be pressured at every turn. It makes him much less inclined to actually do anything about cats, which is getting a hive. I'm surprised that the spire's not down yet, or I'm just really blind and can't see it, but it's not down. There it is. But Cats is taking his 5th base, replacing his gold base, and there's really just not anything that Dignitas can do about it because he overextended himself. But now Cats is going to be doing essentially the same thing. He's got a crossfire of tanks. However, he is mind controlling tanks themselves to do damage, and is going to end up killing both Thors in exchange for his entire army as well. And this is Cats just being very greedy with whatever he thinks he can do. But right now, Dignitas has pretty much no chance of winning because he has no ability to adapt. And that's really all it is. He does have a pretty respectable defensive army, but he has no ability to produce anything that can attack air units, so he's just creating lots of Hellions and tanks. And Cats is going to abuse this by making Mutalisks, Corruptors, and Broodlords. I'm still looking for that spire. There it is. And this is the prerequisite all-in attack before a player gives up a game. Every player does one of these before the game if they survive a push, and this is really the last offensive action that Dignitas is able to perform. Because once again, he sends everything out on the attack, and Cats goes and, well, kicks him in the ankle again. And there's really not a whole lot left to say on this one because I'm not commentating it. This is meant to be mostly educational. So this is really all that's left to see in the game, educational wise. Cats abused Terran, made him feel that he couldn't move out, and then when he did move out, went for a huge counterattack with drops because Dignitas left his base entirely undefended. And because Dignitas left his base entirely undefended, he had to pull his entire attack wave back to deal with it, and was left with an eviscerated base and 2/3 of an army. And that's really what led to the ultimate downfall, because he was left with very little production, and I have a little child crawling on me. But Dignitas just has no ability to respond to Cats anymore, so this is really just a countdown until Cats wins. He's trying to do a poke here, and Cats is already on the offense, and has defenses over here as well, so there's really just nothing Dignitas can do to come back into this game. If I had to pick things to attribute Dignitas losing and Cats winning to, it would be Dignitas. He did really well on the defense, but then just completely overextended himself several different times, and that just let Cats go in and punish him for it very, very brutally. Like, just now Dignitas has the ability to replace his Thors, and we can see he is breaking the no queue rule and has several of them queued up, and this is just a really bad thing to be doing, but it is going to alleviate some of the factory babysitting he would need to do. But right now he is trying to respond to a threat that has already been on the map for an extended period of time, and when you're in that kind of situation, you've already guaranteed yourself a loss because you cannot react to something that's in your face. It's just impossible. You're not going to come up with a favorable outcome. And here's the Broodlords, and you'll have to forgive any jumping camera because I have a small child playing with my keyboard. But the Broodlord, Corruptor, and Mutalisk mix is just impossible for Hellion and tank mixtures to deal with. So this is the replay for showing importance of scouting and adapting and keeping up with your opponent. Again, there will be more information in the text below.